dear Capricorns, and welcome to your June 2021 horoscope. If this is your first time here, my name is Justina and I use Western astrology, tropical zodiac, and these predictions are most accurate for the rising sign. However, if you don't know your rising sign, you can also watch this for your sun sign or for your moon sign, so welcome. Now, Venus moves into Cancer on the 2nd of the month, where it will remain until June 27th. So for you, this is the 7th house transit. And so with Venus in the 7th house, you seek more harmony and balance among people who are close to your heart. But also with Venus transiting this area of your life, you become more flexible, more adaptable, and it's a great time for seeking more harmony and balance. So for improving your personal relationships. Now on the 10th, we've got a new moon solar eclipse in Gemini, activating your 6th house of work, health, and diet. So this is a North Node solar eclipse. And a solar eclipse is 6 times stronger than a regular new moon, so it's a very powerful time, a time of new beginnings, a time to plant new seeds for the future. And this new moon solar eclipse could bring some new beginnings connected to your health, to your well-being, but for some people this could be a new employment, so a new job, new projects at your existing employment. You could introduce a new health routine, a new diet into your life. Now Mercury will be retrograde at the time of this solar eclipse, so something from the past could come back into the surface and help you in initiating, establishing these new changes or some new beginnings in your life. And on the 11th, we've got Mars moving into Leo, and with Mars in your 8th house, this is actually a pretty good transit because Mars is the traditional ruler of Scorpio, of the 8th house. So for Mars in your 8th house, you might have stronger sexual urges, so there could be more activity going on in your intimate life, but also something to pay attention to with Mars here. Mars is a very dynamic, impulsive energy, so you might be a little bit more than usual impatient when dealing with anything to do with joint resources, joint finances with your partners. It's something to keep in mind. Now, on the 14th, we've got a famous Saturn-Uranus square, which had already occurred back in February, and the final one of this year will be in December. So what is it about? This is about breaking away from the old structures in your life that outlived their purpose, and especially if they had been restricting you in some way and making it difficult to move forward with your goals, your plans. Now, with Uranus here involved in this square, you'll have the motivation to finally break away and implement some important changes in your life so that something greater can emerge. And this is something happening between your area of finances and the area of your creative side of life. So perhaps if anything to do with your financial situation was blocking you and making it difficult to progress in your creative life, for instance, or perhaps you are unable to help your children as a result of financial difficulties, now during this square, you will have motivation, courage, drive, stimulation to change something, break away from the old structure. So these are just some examples that might occur in your life. And on the 20th, we've got the Sun moving into Cancer and also Jupiter turning retrograde in Pisces. So with Jupiter retrograde in Pisces, you might become more impersonal when communicating with others. It might be a little bit more difficult to express yourself, and as a result of that, you might be a better listener than a talker. This is just a temporary transit because Jupiter will go back into Aquarius on July 28th, so it will be just around 1 month of this retrograde in Pisces. And with the Sun moving into your 7th house, you might prefer to deal with people on a one-to-one basis rather than in group situation. But also with the Sun in the 7th house, you might be able to better understand yourself through your personal relationships. On the 24th, we've got a full moon in Capricorn happening in your 1st house. So this is a very important full moon because it will bring some strong feelings, some strong thoughts about your appearance, about your outer personality, and generally about the impression you make on others. So you might be stimulated to make some changes in one of these areas of your life. On the 25th, we've got Neptune turning retrograde in your 3rd house, joining Jupiter retrograde. But Neptune will stay retrograde here for around 154 days until December the 5th. So there will be a greater impact of this retrograde rather than of Jupiter retrograde because of the long period that Neptune will stay retrograde in this area of your life. So with Neptune retrograde in your third house, you might become more sensitive to other people's opinions, ideas, thoughts, especially if they don't align with your own ideas. But also it might be more difficult for you to come to a conclusion or come to a point when communicating with others. So it's very important during this time to communicate openly and effectively in order for you not to feel misunderstood by others. And the month ends with Venus moving into Leo on June 27th, and this is into your 8th house. So with Venus here, you are likely to want to bond with another on a deep emotional level. Venus here is really beneficial for your intimate life, your sex life. You could gain financially through your partner, through your business partner as well. And on this note, I would like to thank you very much for your attention. I hope June is a good month for you. And I will see you in my next video. Bye for now.